You have an IT help desk interview coming up. Maybe it's your first one ever. And right now you are sitting there wondering, what are they actually going to ask me? And what do I say so I don't sound like I'm guessing? I moved to Germany without a tech job lined up. I sent out applications, heard nothing back for weeks. And when I finally got an interview, I walked in with zero idea what to expect. I fumbled through it. I didn't get the job. But I learned what exactly went wrong, and I went on to work in IT environments across Germany where I'm based, sitting on both sides of the interview table. Hi, I'm Sirat, a lawyer turned cybersecurity and IT support specialist. With a background in law and tech, I analyze how technology, cybersecurity, and geopolitics collide to shape global power. And in this video, I'm giving you the exact questions you are going to face in an IT help desk interview. How to answer them so you sound like you have already done the job, and the one answer that's going to put you ahead of almost every other applicant in that hiring pool. Let's get into it. Question 1, and you will hear this in basically every interview you ever do. Tell me about yourself. This feels like a small talk. It is not small talk. The interviewer is really asking two things. Can this person communicate like a professional, and can they summarize their background without rumbling for 5 minutes? Because talking about introducing yourself or talking about yourself is not easy because you have a lot to talk about. And summarizing everything in a few minutes is not a easy job. Here's a strong way to answer it. I recently completed my CompTIA A+, XYZ certifications or degree. I've spent time building home labs and fixing tech for friends and family. And I'm looking to start my career somewhere I can grow and contribute from day one. Of course, this is for somebody who just starts in IT. If you have experience, you should definitely add it. This works because you hit 3 things fast: your technical foundation, your personal initiative, and your readiness to add value immediately. You are not saying, please teach me everything. You are saying, I've already been preparing for this. If you're applying in Germany or anywhere in the EU, you can add one more line here. Mention that you understand the value of structured onboarding and house-building style training culture, because German employers often care deeply about whether you respect process and structure. That one detail can set you apart from candidates who only talk about raw skill. Question 2, and this one trips people up. Before we continue, please hit the like and the subscribe buttons. How do you handle a stressful situation or a difficult user? They are not testing your technical knowledge here, they are testing whether you are going to lose your composure when someone's printer won't print and they are furious about it. And yes, this will happen, probably in the first week. A solid answer sounds like this. I stay calm, I ask clear questions to understand the real issue, and I let the user know I am there to help, not to judge them. I don't take frustration personally, and if I get stuck, I know when to escalate instead of guessing. Notice the structure there. Problem, action, result. Use that structure for every behavioral question you get asked, and you will sound consistent and confident every single time. This is the part where I want you to actually pay attention, because this single insight matters more than any technical answer in the entire interview. IT support is 50% tech and 50% people skills. You might also get follow-up questions. In my last interview after this question, I was asked the follow-up question. What do you do if you cannot fix the problem? The user is furious about the problem and says, I want it to be fixed right now. You can't and couldn't, even you did Google, YouTube, and AI research to fix the problem. What do you do? Beside all the blah blah that I did and myself, I pointed to one important issue that made the panel happy and asked me that this is enough and you did answer the question right, and that was good. I said I escalate the ticket issue and contact my line manager immediately and ask him to follow up. Because you are not supposed to know everything. You are not supposed to fix the problem all the time, because sometimes you cannot, or a spare part is missing that you don't have the access or authority to purchase it and replace it. And the user is furious. You don't fight with them. You just let them talk with your line manager. During my interview, the manager was also sitting in the panel as well. And then he followed that, yes, That is my work to follow up in order to control the issue and avoid further arguments. So now, what kind of questions have you faced that surprised you? Please write them in the comments and I will share my thoughts as well. As a matter of fact, in your first year, your work is closer to 70% people skills. Companies would rather train someone who is calm and coachable than hire someone brilliant who panics under pressure and freezes, or he starts to take it personal and fight or argue with the clients. If you're finding this helpful so far, drop a comment with your biggest interview worry right now. Maybe let's do it practical so that if you have any questions, write it in the comments below. I read and respond every one of them. And hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video where I cover what your first 90 days on a help desk job actually looks like. Now let's get into the technical side, and here's the good news. They are not expecting senior engineer answers. They want to see that you think logically and stay calm while troubleshooting. That's it. Question 3. What's the difference between TCP and UDP? Don't overthink it. So, TCP is connection-based. Think file uploads while every piece of data has to arrive quickly. UDP is connectionless. It is faster but doesn't guarantee delivery. Think video calls or streaming where a tiny glitch for a second doesn't ruin everything. Explain it that way, using real situations instead of textbook definition. And you instantly sound like someone who has actually used this knowledge, not just memorized it the night before the interview. Be natural and explain in conversational way an example. So why I give this example out of all those examples, because then I explained it in a natural way. So any kind of technical question that you are asked, try to avoid jargons you can use, but explain it in a simple way so that all 3 people or more people who are in the panel, they understand your explanation. Question 4. A user can't access the internet. What do you check? The word internet is doing a lot of work in that sentence because it could mean 5 different problems. So don't jump straight to one answer. Walk through your logic out loud. First, ask it if it's one user or multiple users, since that changes everything. Then check the physical connection. Check the IP address, ping the default gateway, test DNS resolution, try a different browser. You are narrowing the problem down layer by layer, starting broad and getting specific. So some questions might be just the same thing. You don't give a response directly. You have to think of the layers that you go one by one. So you will definitely face such kind of questions as well. In IT, this is the case, that I have to think in layers to solve the technical problems. That is exactly what real troubleshooting actually looks like on the job. And it shows the interviewer you won't panic or guess randomly when something breaks. Question 5. What is Active Directory? Keep this simple. It's Microsoft's system for managing users' devices and provisions across a company network, controlling who can log in and what they are allowed to access. Give a clean, confident definition in a conversational way and move on. They are not testing for mastery here. They just want to know you have actually worked with it or at least understand what AD does. Now, here's another question that matters more once you're applying internationally. Why do you want to work here? A strong answer sounds like this. I'm looking for a team where I can grow technically and contribute right away. And I like this company invests in training and modern tools. If you're applying to a company in Germany or elsewhere in the EU, you can mention that you specifically want stability and long-term growth, since many European employers value candidates who are thinking long-term, not just chasing the next quick move. This shows you have actually thought about them, not just about what you will get out of it. And now, the other question that separates almost everyone. Do you have any questions for us? Most candidates say, no, I think you covered everything. Don't be most candidates. Ask something like, what does a typical day look like for a tier 1 tech here? Or what tools and ticketing systems does your team use? But here's the one that actually flips the entire dynamics of the interview. Ask them, if my first 90 days here went perfectly, What would that look like in terms of performance and team fit? The moment you ask that, you are no longer just answering questions, you are interviewing them back. It signals that they are serious, thinking long-term, and already picturing yourself doing the job well. Before we wrap up, I want to be honest with you about something. I didn't get my first IT interview in Germany. I left that room replaying every answer I gave, certain I had blown my only shot. But that rejection is what pushed me to actually study how interviews work instead of just hoping I would wing it well enough. A few months later, I walked into another interview prepared, calm, and ready. And I got the offer. Prepared doesn't mean that I knew everything. Be careful. You will never know everything so that you are the confident and smartest and talented and intelligent person and expert in that field, because this is an entry position, okay? So if you don't get your first one, that is not the end of your story. That is just information and experience that you have learned to be prepared for the next one. If this video is helping you to get ready, let me know in the comments which question worries you the most. I want to know what you are walking into. And if you haven't already, subscribe, because in the next video, I'm breaking down exactly what the first 90 days on an IT help desk job actually feels like, and how to make sure you pass your probation period with no stress. Here's what I want you to take away from all of this. Nobody expects you to walk in knowing everything. They are hiring calm, curiosity, and the ability to think clearly under pressure. That is it. That's the whole game. So before your next interview, rewatch these questions and say your answers out loud, even if it feels awkward talking to yourself in the mirror or in front of a screen. 5 minutes a day of practice is the difference between freezing up and sounding like someone who has already done the job. You have got this. Go get that offer, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.